When the COVID-19 virus jumped into humans almost 2 years in a few short months, it had erupted into a pandemic, infecting millions of people worldwide and killing around 1% of those infected. Now, experts have given their insights regarding how the virus's trajectory could be by next spring. A leading Oxford expert has reassured many with his insight that COVID-19 could resemble the common cold by next spring. Professor Sir John Bell, Regius Professor of Medicine at Oxford University, believes by next year most people's immunity to the virus will be boosted by vaccines and exposure. He added that the UK is over the worst and things should be fine once winter has passed, adding that there was continued exposure to the virus even in people who are vaccinated. Do you pee in the shower? Doctor explains why you should give up the habit immediately. Past pandemics have offered hints of the future. While there is no one historical example to follow, humanity has gone through several large epidemics in the past 100 or so years which eventually did stop. The human body is built to create brand new defenses involving new antibodies and other immune system components that can react to viruses and other diseases. In most cases, antibodies developed by the immune system help to fight off viruses and eventually limit person-to-person viral transmission. Bowel cancer symptoms: the sensation when having a poo, advice diabetes, the red drink that lowers high blood sugar levels, advice diabetes diet warning, the 5 worst foods, tips. Moderna's chief executive Stefan Bancel also stated that the coronavirus pandemic could be over in a year. Meanwhile, Professor Dame Sarah Gilbert reiterated this, telling a Royal Society of Medicine webinar that viruses tend to become weaker as they spread around. We normally see that viruses become less virulent as they circulate more easily, and there is no reason to think we will have a more virulent version of SARS-CoV-2, she said. Seasonal coronaviruses cause colds, and Dame Sarah added, eventually SARS-CoV-2 will become one of those. Professor Bell spoke on Times Radio and added, if you look at the trajectory we're a lot better off than we were 6 months ago. So, the pressure on the NHS is largely abated. If you look at the deaths from COVID, they tend to be very elderly people, and it's not entirely clear it was COVID that caused all those deaths. So, I think we're over the worst of it now, and I think what will happen is, there will be quite a lot of background exposure to Delta, he added, saying the case numbers are quite high, but those who have had 2 vaccines and are infected will still lead to stronger herd immunity. The professor said people should not panic and that the number of severe infections and deaths from COVID remains very low. He said COVID vaccines work to prevent serious illness and death but don't really effectively reduce the amount of transmission. He added, if everybody's expecting the vaccines and the boosters to stop that, they won't. And it's slightly a false promise. He said he agreed with England's Chief Medical Officer, Professor Chris Whitty, that the vast majority of children would get COVID without a vaccine, adding this is now an endemic virus, it'll circulate pretty widely,